Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You're all the reasons why this keeps going. Join the Legion today at patreon.com/63rdlegion for free and help decide next week's new character. Joining my paid tiers allows you early access to my content, a shout out in my videos, homebrew D&D items for your games, and a chance to play some D&D in the Patreon community. Time for another look into the fog from Dead by Daylight. It's the Clown. Kenneth Chase started life as a rather unremarkable person. While physically fit and good-looking, Kenneth was consumed by complete apathy. He cared for nothing, but eventually he found something he could care for: killing. Eventually, Kenneth was on the run, hiding among a traveling circus under the name Jeffrey Hawk. It is here Kenneth's life became a lot darker. You see, he found something to fill his life: addiction. Kenneth became addicted to everything, to the point he destroyed his body. He became morbidly obese and so addicted to chemicals he could hardly breathe. It was because of these addictions Kenneth developed, through trial and error, chemical concoctions that he could use to help him in his true passion: murder. Within his tools are concoctions that cause his victims to become dulled and sluggish, easily allowing him to subdue them. He also created another concoction that helps him focus and chase down his targets. Once he gets close enough, Kenneth strikes using his favorite tool, his knife. When Kenneth was taken by the entity, he became the Clown. If he's embraced the entity's power or doesn't even know what's happening, we have no clue, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't care regardless. After all, he has victims to hunt and fingers to collect. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook and an Unearthed Arcana. We'll also be grabbing spells from Xanathar's Guide. We're using standard point array to keep things simple, and we are multi-classing, so watch those minimums if you use another system. Make Dex 15, Intelligence 14, Strength 13, Charisma 12, Wisdom 10, and we're going to be dumping Con with an 8. I hate dumping Con, but dude, you need to see a doctor. Preferably one you're not trying to kill, or the one that wants to be Electro Pinhead. Clown is a human, resourceful, lets you give yourself a free inspiration dice at the end of a long rest if you don't already have one. Skillful grants you a free skill, grab Persuasion. Versatile gives you a bonus origin feat for your feat. Skilled gives you 3 skills or tool proficiencies of your choice. Take Poisoner's Kit, Alchemist's Supplies, and Herbalism Kit. To finish out your lineage, you know the language Common and 2 more of your choice. For background, add +2 to Intelligence and +1 into Dex. For your origin feat, Savage Attacker lets you roll 2 sets of your weapon's damage dice and pick which one you use. For skills, take Intimidation and Deception. To finish out your background, take Proficiency in whatever you want. Level 1 Rogues start things off with 4 skills. Grab Investigation, Stealth, Sleight of Hand, and Athletics. You are proficient in simple weapons, martial weapons with the Light or Finesse property, light armor, thieves' tools, and the saving throws Dex and Intelligence. Expertise grants you double the proficiency bonus to 2 skills of your choice. Place this into Deception and Persuasion. Sneak Attack lets you add damage to your attacks. Once per turn, when you hit with a finesse or ranged weapon, while you have advantage on the attack or an ally is within 5 feet of your target, you deal an extra 1d6 damage. Thieves' Cant gives you the coded language Thieves' Cant and another language of your choice. Weapon Mastery improves your weapon skills. At the end of a long rest, you choose 2 weapons you are proficient with, and now when you use them, you can use their Weapon Mastery property. For some weapon masteries you'll see, Dagger gives you Nick, which allows you to attack with 2 light weapons using the same attack action, freeing up your bonus action. Short Sword gives you Vex, which gives you advantage on attack rolls against a creature you've hit with this weapon before the end of your next turn. Level 1 Wizards begin with spellcasting. This is going to give you some of your more exotic chemicals. You have a spellbook that will contain all your known spells, and you can prepare a total number of spells from it each day as indicated on the wizard level block. You're starting off with 3 cantrips and 6 first level spells. You will regain all used spell slots at the end of a long rest, and Intelligence is your spellcasting modifier. Ritual casting allows you to cast spells with the ritual tag as a ritual when you don't have them prepared. Arcane recovery allows you to recover used spell slots on a short rest that can only equal half your wizard level and can never be 6th level or higher. You can do this once per long rest. For your spells, Poison Spray throws a bottle of poison at a creature within 30 feet, dealing 1d12 poison damage on a hit. Acid Splash throws a bottle out to 30 feet, shattering into a 5-foot radius sphere. Each creature within the sphere must make a dex save or take 1d6 acid damage. Toll the Dead throws a bottle out to 60 feet at a creature and forces a wisdom save. If they fail, they take 1d8 necrotic damage unless they are missing some HP, in which case they take 1d12 necrotic damage on a failure. Cause Fear from Xanathar's targets a creature within 60 feet and forces a wisdom save. Should they fail, they are now frightened of you for 1 minute while you maintain the spell, and they can repeat the save at the end of each of their turns. Ray of Sickness throws a bottle out at a creature within 60 feet. You should really stop throwing bottles at people. It's rude. But so is cutting off their fingers and tasting it. Oh, that's also creepy. If the bottle hits the target, they take 2d8 poison damage and are now poisoned until the end of your next turn. False Life lets you hit yourself with a bottle and grants you 2d4 plus 4 temporary HP. Mage Armor gives you an AC of 13 plus your dex modifier for 8 hours when not wearing armor. Long Strider lets you add 10 feet to your total movement for 1 hour. Fog Cloud creates a 20-foot radius cloud of dense fog obscuring the area for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. Level 2 wizards are scholars. You can now double the proficiency bonus to investigation. For your new spells, Sleep throws a bottle out to 60 feet and releases a 5-foot radius cloud. Each creature within the cloud must make a wisdom save. If they fail, they are incapacitated until the end of its next turn, where they must retake the save. If they fail this time, they are now unconscious while this spell is active. You must maintain the spell for 1 minute, and it will end early if the creature takes damage or someone else uses their action to wake the creature. This spell has no effect on a creature that can't be put to sleep or is immune to it. For your next spell, pick what you want. Level 3 wizards now have access to their subclass. Transmuter, currently in an Unearthed Arcana, is going to be perfect. This should have been in the player's handbook, but it was cut because they only wanted 4 subclasses each. I'm happy they didn't completely drop it, just held it back. Transmutation Savant gives you 2 free spells from the Transmutation School. Also, when you gain access to a higher level of spell, you get a free transmutation spell. Transmuter Stone lets you create a small stone at the end of a long rest. When you create the stone, you choose an effect for it to have, and whoever has the stone gains the effect. These effects can be Dark Vision, Speed Increase, Proficiency in Constitution saving throws, or gain resistance to certain types of damage. You can switch out the effect by burning a spell slot, and the stone remains until you create a new one. Wondrous Enchantment gives a free spell that you will always have prepared, Enhance Ability. You can cast this spell once per long rest, and the spell is improved. This spell allows you to choose a stat from Strength, Dex, Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma for 1 hour while you maintain the spell. Skill checks that use the chosen stat are at advantage, and if you cast this without a spell slot, the saving throw for that stat is also at advantage. You also now have access to 2nd level spells. For your transmuting spells, Blindness Deafness lets you blind or deafen someone within 30 feet of you for 1 minute should they fail a con save. At the end of each of their turns, they may retake the save. For your new spells, Ray of Enfeeblement throws a bottle out to 60 feet at a creature, and they must now make a con save. If they succeed, they have disadvantage on their next attack roll before the start of your next turn. If they fail, they have disadvantage on strength-based d20 tests and must subtract a d8 from all damage rolls while the spell is active. You must maintain the spell for 1 minute, and they may attempt to end the spell by retaking the save at the end of each of their turns. Blur covers you in a disorienting cloud, protecting you from attacks for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. All attacks against you are at disadvantage. Level 2 rogues unlock Cunning Action. Dash, Disengage, and Hide are bonus actions. Your character level 5 now, your proficiency bonus is +3. Acid Splash, Poison Spray, and Toll the Dead are upgraded to 2 damage dice each. Your character level 5, your proficiency bonus is now +3. Acid Splash, Poison Spray, and Toll the Dead are upgraded to 2 damage dice each. Level 3 rogues now have access to their subclass. Assassin from the player's handbook is going to make you a better killer. I say that line way too much. Assassin A gives you advantage on initiative rolls and on the first turn of combat. If you have advantage on an attack against a creature that hasn't taken its turn yet, your sneak attack will deal extra damage that equals your rogue level. Assassin's Tools gives you proficiency in Poisoner's Kit and Disguise Kit. I know I already gave you proficiency in Poisoner's Kit because I really wanted you to have it at the start. If you don't like this, change out what you had from Skilled and you're good. Steady Aim improves your attacks. Now on a turn you haven't moved, you can use your bonus action to reduce your speed to 0, and now you have advantage on your next attack. Your speed remains 0 until the end of your current turn. Your sneak attack is now 2d6 extra damage. Level 4 rogues earn our first ability score improvement. Start raising intelligence for better spell attack and DC. Level 4 wizards earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Intelligence. For your new spells, Darkness creates a 15-foot radius sphere of pure magical darkness out to 60 feet from you for 10 minutes while you maintain the spell. Arcane Vigor lets you expend 1 or 2 of your hit dice with a bonus action, regaining health equal to the dice roll plus your intelligence modifier. You gain a new cantrip here, go nuts. Level 5 wizards receive memorized spells. Now when you finish a short rest, you can study your spellbook and switch out one wizard spell you've prepared of first level or higher. You also now have third level spells. For your transmuter spell, Slow lets you affect up to 6 creatures within a 40-foot cube out to 120 feet of you for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. Forcing a wisdom save, should they fail, they become slower and debuffed. Their speed is halved, their AC is reduced by 2, their dex saves are reduced by 2, and they can't take reactions. On their turn, it can either use its action or bonus action, but not both. It can also make one attack, and if it attempts to cast a spell that has a somatic component, there's a 25% chance the spell will fail. At the end of each of its turns, they may retake the save, ending the effects on a success. For your new spell, Haste lets you buff one willing creature, including yourself, for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. While the spell is active, the target speed is doubled. It gains +2 to its AC, has advantage on dex saves, and gains an additional action. This action can be to dash, disengage, hide, use an object, or make a single weapon attack. When the spell ends, the affected creature crashes and has its speed reduced to 0 and is incapacitated until the end of its next turn. Stinking Cloud creates a 20-foot radius sphere out to 90 feet for 1 minute while you maintain the spell. Each creature within the cloud at the start of its turn must make a con save. Should they fail, they are poisoned and can't take actions or bonus actions until the end of their current turn. Your character level 9, raise your proficiency bonus to +4. Level 5 rogues gain Cunning Strikes. Now, once per turn, when you use Sneak Attack, you can subtract the extra damage dice to add effects to the attack. If the Cunning Strike has a DC, it's based on your dex. For these effects, Trip costs 1d6, and you force a dex save if they are a size large or smaller, giving them the prone condition if they fail. Withdrawal costs 1d6, and after you damage them, you can move up to half your total speed without provoking attack of opportunity. Poison is 1d6, and if you have the Poisoner's Kit, you force a con save, and if they fail, they have the poison condition for 1 minute and can retake the save at the end of each of their turns to end the condition. Uncanny Dodge lets you reduce damage you take from an attack with a reaction, reducing it to half. Your sneak attack is now 3d6 extra damage. Level 6 rogues unlock another 2 expertise. Place this into athletics and stealth. Your character level 11 now. Acid Splash, Toll the Dead, and Poison Spray are upgraded to 3 damage dice each. Level 7 rogues receive Evasion. Now when you aren't incapacitated and you pass a dex save, you can take no damage or half on a failure. Reliable Talent improves your skills. Now when you take a d20 test for a skill you are proficient with, a result of 9 or lower counts as 10. Your sneak attack is now 4d6 extra damage. Level 8 rogues earn another ability score improvement, Raise Dex, for a better knife attack. You've hit character level 13, bring your proficiency bonus to +5. Level 9 assassin rogues have Infiltration Expertise. Now Steady Aim no longer reduces your speed to 0, and you can mimic another person's speech patterns and handwriting after studying it for 1 hour. Your sneak attack is now 5d6 extra damage. Level 10 rogues earn another ability score improvement, cap off dex. You are nimble for a large evil cloud. Level 11 rogues learn improved cunning strikes. You can now add 2 different cunning strikes, but still must pay for both. Your sneak attack is 6d6 extra damage. Level 12 rogues earn another ability score improvement, bump up con for no negative in health, but it still sucks. You've hit character level 17. Your proficiency bonus is now maxed out at +6. Acid Splash, Toll the Dead, and Poison Spray are upgraded to 4 damage dice each. Level 13 Assassin Rogues gain Envenom weapons. Now when you use the Poison Cunning Strike, you can add 2d6 poison damage, and that will ignore resistances if they fail the con saving throw. Your sneak attack is now 7d6 extra damage. Level 14 rogues unlock Devious Strikes. You gain 3 new cunning strikes for you to use. For these strikes, days cost 2d6 and forces a con save. If they fail, they can do only one thing on their following turn. They can move, take an action, or take a bonus action. Obscure costs 3d6 and forces a dex save, giving them the blinded condition until the end of your next turn if they fail. Knockout costs 6d6 and forces a con save. If they fail, they are unconscious for 1 minute or until they take damage, and they can retake the save at the end of each of their turns. Our final level is level 15 Rogue, and you have a slippery mind. You are now proficient in Wisdom and Charisma saving throws. Your sneak attack is now 8d6 extra damage. Now that we've reached level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 13, Dex 20, Con 10, Intelligence 20, Wisdom 10, Charisma 12. Your total character levels are Wizard 5, Rogue 15. Let's dive in. Your concoctions work perfectly. You can buff or debuff as you need it, like slowing down the target or speeding yourself up. You can also give yourself advantage on saving throws and skill checks. You're also a sneaky, deceptive bastard. Your stealth is +17 and can never be lower than 27 on the roll, while your deception is +9 and can never be lower than 19. Finally, you're pretty deadly. Using your spell damage, you can cause 4d12 poison damage, and while using your favorite knife, you're dealing 1d6 +5 +8d6 damage, and you can add 2d6 poison damage to it or other effects. Downside: you are unhealthy. Taking the average, you're only bringing in under 100 HP, which is pretty lore accurate. You've destroyed your lungs and you are very overweight. Your charisma score is kind of low for someone who needs so much deception, but you still got a good one. Finally, you also have the spellcaster's curse of having a lot of concentration spells, but that's normal. Strike from a distance to weaken your prey and move in for the kill. I'd like to thank my Artificer tier. Thank you, Christopher R. Hunter, Java Squirrel, and Daniel Saffler. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. And make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new character.